Boom. Your event is starting and you are live. Let's view on watch page. Alright. Boom. There I am. Alright. I don't expect a lot of people to be watching this, especially at 7:45 my time. Oh, whoa. What am I doing here? Okay, there we go. Just moving a few things. Alright. If I can just get somebody to tell me that you can see everything fine and hear everything fine, we'll be off and running here. I won't make this horribly long. And then everybody can kind of watch it later as we go. Daniel, how are you? Good to see you. See you. I can't see you. Hear from you. It's a little bit better. Dave, good morning. Jeez. All right. Okay. So can you guys hear and see everything okay? We'll just make sure real quick. I can see and hear you. All right. Thank you, Ronan. Everything's fine. Can see and hear. Okay, great. All right. So a couple of things. We held an auction the other day, and for about a week or so, and it had ended. When it ended and we went to get everything sent out, everybody reneged on everything. There were second place votes and bids and stuff like that, but at that point I just had enough. So there will be no more auctions on this channel. So if you want to get your hands on any of this stuff, and boy, there was some really good stuff, you're going to have to look on eBay, because that's the way we're going to do it from now on. This way there are we're going to lose some money there, but it's better than half the work I go through to do all this, and it's really a pain in the neck. So we're going to let eBay handle all the auctions, and the money will still go to charity and stuff like that. Only we're going to get hit with fees and stuff like that, and there's just nothing I can do about it. Plus, I don't think I'm going to frequent them as much anymore. I just bought a storage center and moved over, I'd say about 2,000 games. So we've got that all taken care of. So I could probably hold another 3,000 or 4,000 if I wanted to. But usually I try to cull everything down. I want to kind of get it down to stuff that I'm actually going to be able to utilize and play and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff in here that I left here that it'll eventually go out so I can make room for stuff. So it's not a big deal. This isn't like sour grapes or anything like that, or stuff like that. I don't need the drama, okay, of people going, oh, no. It's just, it is what it is going forward. On the cover of this, and I'm going to tell Helen and Larissa not to touch this cover whatsoever, because there's going to be tons of changes on this channel. Good changes. And we're going to explain some of the things and just give you an idea how my day goes each and every day, and where I'm coming from and going to is more or less. One of the big things I'm doing is I'm kind of pulling away from a lot of things. And this week, the Queen has been gone. The Queen's been, we'll be back hopefully shortly. And then, because I'm losing my mind. I really am. You don't realize how cooped up your life is when your partner of a billion years is not there. Okay? We're very rarely without each other. When I go to conventions, I find myself just wanting to get home. So that's another reason I'm kind of pulling back from the conventions and stuff like that. I do get homesick. You got grandchildren and you got all these other things in your life that you want to start putting to the forefront. Now, this channel is very important, and we're going to go to the whiteboard very soon. I actually have, I've been working on 5-camera scheme. I tested it yesterday for a little bit. I deleted it because I was trying to show some rules or something, and I was just goofing up everything when I was trying to do about 19 things at once. But I ended up talking more, and the title didn't make sense, so I just deleted it, and I'm just going to include everything into this vlog. Vlogs are going down to once a month. I don't see any purpose of them other than that. They really don't do anything. They don't tell you anything really that much. I get some, sometimes I just ramble, and, I've watched some of them. I go, how is this any use, So I try to be a little bit smart on how I use these and always have something to say and make sure I say it. But we are going to a 5-camera scheme. The reason is because of Frostgrave, Car Wars, Rumble Slam, Bolt Action, and some other war games and miniature games and board games in general that I want to do live eventually. Like I said, the Queen has been gone for a good amount of time, and I was saying, oh, well, I'll just stream the whole time. No, I took the time to try to do some painting. And, personal projects that I need to get done for the channel. Patron stuff, which I plan on being done with Patron by the end of December 31st. So I've been getting a lot of emails. Oh, where's this? Where's that? Where's this? Where's that? Well, I mean, maybe if you watched the channel and kept up, some of you, I know there are people that do, you'll realize that I have about 6,000, I think it was like, the way I calculated, 6,300 miniatures left to paint. So when I get to it, I get to it, because let's go to the board and I'll explain things a little bit, how my day works, so you can just kind of figure it and maybe understand how would you fit this into your day. Now, this is just your basic day, 24 hours. Let's see if I get that onto the thing. Oh, I did. See, I got a new camera. See, I can actually move it and stuff like that. So we can go to the board. Yeah, there we go. All right. So let's call this 4 a.m. Okay. From here to here is, gym. I've got to take care of myself, so I'm here to see my grandchildren. Hold on, let me hold on to this. Then we have travel to work. Then we work pretty much into this time. So if we had to do that, we could put work. Okay? Well, this is just 12 hours, okay? From this point and around to the outside circle until 8 p.m. I know this looks like a wet mess. From here to here, it's all channel. Okay? It's all the channel from this point to point. And then bed. And I sleep maybe 8 hours, 7.5 hours if I'm lucky. Okay? That's a lot of time. And I do that 5 to 6 days a week. Okay? So if you really look at it, the normal person would basically burn out. Because I work an 8-hour job, regular job. I put 7 hours, 7 to 8, channel. Okay, so that's 16 hours. And then, I get up, hour of gym. And then, 7 to 8 hours. It depends what I put into the sleep. And sometimes you try to fit in your family, you try to fit in grandchildren, you try to fit in, you know, any other things that you have. Not only that, you know, you're just constantly, I'm constantly going. And this is quite a bit. All right. Godzilla Lover, new troll, how are you? Not to mention, you know, when I talk about the channel, now, what do we break the channel up into? Okay. So it's, I've been doing anywhere from 5 to 7 videos a week. Okay. Not to mention painting, live streams, things for BGG. Okay. And I started looking at this, and I've been doing this for 4 years, and how much I put into this time. Again, this isn't sour grapes. I'm making you understand where my life is and how it works. Okay. And how I've tried to grow this community, this channel, and everything else. And some people, you know, take this as sour grapes, whatever. I don't care. What kind of work do I do? I will not mention what I do for a living, unfortunately. I can tell you I work for the military. That's it. Leave it at that. So, you know, my job takes up a lot of time. Sometimes it squeezes into the channel time. And then when I come home, I've got, you know, if something goes wrong here, if there is something that needs to be repaired, if I have to do some errands or some round the house things. You know, I have a very understanding wife and someone that has been very supportive of what we do. Now, on the weekends, this camera, I got to turn off the thing here. Hold on. On the weekends, I try to squeeze in time for my family. And now that we have this new granddaughter and I have a new daughter-in-law and some of the other things I have, you know, your weekends go by in a blur. So I've been cutting out, hold on, let me just turn, okay, that one's off. I'm just turning off the autofocus. This drives me nuts. And that one's off. Okay, there we go. There. Okay, so, no, okay, no autofocus. So it becomes a thing where I take up a lot. I try to fit a lot into a lot of time. So on the weekends, I run all my errands with the queen. We take the dogs out. We try to do, not to mention the dogs wake me up in the middle of the night. And, you know, after now 4 years, going into 5 years of doing this, it's exhausting. Okay? Not to mention all the stuff that you have to try to fit in when you go to conventions. And try to plan things out, and you know, what are you gonna look at next? What's the next thing? I enjoy doing this, okay? You know, and I can hear some of the rumblings too, because let's face it, people can be babies at times. Oh, but you get to do what you want. Well, when it starts to become, when you start doing it, and you're forced to do it. How many times do you guys spend playing games? Do you play games 6 to 7 hours a day? No, you have the freedom to go do whatever you want. And that's what makes it a game, is that you play it when you feel like playing it. Sometimes I have the obligation, because of sponsors, because of my association with Board Game Geek, and I try to help a lot of people, that you have these obligations. So, you know, it's not easy for me to read rules and understand rules. I can't see as well as I used to. Oh, what are they barking about now? What a week with these two knuckleheads. And, you know, you take on things. Sometimes I take on too much. And that's the mistake I've made. We've tried to help a lot of people. We've tried to do a lot of things. We've tried to be positive. And that window really does become very tough. But would I trade anything for it? No, because I really enjoy it. And if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. Okay? I would just say the hell with this. Do I get tired and worn out sometimes? Oh, God, yeah. Sometimes I just scratch my head and go, oh, why am I doing this? And then other times you go, wow, that was great. I really love what I do. I love all this stuff. I think about this stuff all the time. Even when I'm working my day job, I'm thinking about what I'm doing here, or how I can improve here, how I can grow here. I'm not somebody, a lot of people, and I'm going to shoot from the hip, okay? Because I never lied, and I'm not planning on lying anytime soon. So I'm just going to call it the way it is. There are a lot of me. I've been pulling myself back from media people because they are passive aggressive, they are cutthroat, and a lot of things. Okay, you have to go and you have to bang on a lot of doors to get yourself bigger, and it's a lot of work. And these smaller channels, there's thousands of them now that are constantly banging on people's doors saying, hey, I'm a reviewer now, let me do this, let me do that, let me do this. And they get flooded so much. I've never been somebody to bang on people's doors. A lot of people have come to me and asked me to help them out. For instance, this Mage Company thing, with the sleeves. Somebody wrote me last night, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I read something in one of the comments, and it said that I guess this was a Kickstarter that they had, and that they still haven't gotten their stuff. And where I feel bad for you in that instance, what does it have to do with me looking at these things? I saw these. They sent me a bunch of. They asked if I would look at card sleeves, and I go, okay. I have plenty of games with cards, and the funny thing about it was that I looked at these card sleeves, and they were perfect for something that I'm doing here, which we will be covering next week when the Queen comes back. I really tried to get a lot of painting done. This D100 mapping game, and it's going to tie in with our adventure game that we have over there. I can't wait to do this. But the sleeves fit perfectly, and I was like, oh my god, these are cool. Made a video, showed it off. That's all I know. I'm not a Kickstarter guy, okay? I'm not a guy that I've never put money down on a Kickstarter yet, okay? Do I support Kickstarters? Because I hope that they'll go retail. Nowadays, a lot of these Kickstarters are coming out where they are selling everything that they can and doing it themselves. Why? They're trying to cut out, retailers, so they don't have to reduce the price to make it, so they can get the maximum profit. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, who's it going to hurt? It's going to, there's a whole, we can talk hours for that. Who cares? Okay. Doesn't affect me in the long run. Okay. All I care about are, I don't pay attention to designers, even though there are some designers that I admire greatly. Richard Launius, who is a personal friend who I got to know and like a lot as a person. Okay. Every time I go to a convention, I try to spend as much time with him because he's a friend. Mark Walker, another friend. There's a couple other fantastic designers that are friends. I'm not going after the hottest designer and going, oh my god, I love you so much. I don't care. All I care about is the games. Okay? Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. Okay, so let's listen. Your screen time was down 15% last week for an average of 2 hours and 35 minutes per day. I think they're talking about YouTube. See? I pulled back a little bit. Not that I'm pulling back. It's just I've got to get certain things done. I have to be free of things so I can go where I want to go. Okay, so that is my whole focus and concentration, is trying to get a bunch of this stuff done, and I am painting my ass off. And will it burn me out? Maybe. But I have to be careful of that. So I try to do things a certain way so I don't burn out. You think how much I painted and It's a lot. I mean, take a look at Sinastro. Okay, he puts up maybe four painting videos a month, 4 figures, or maybe 10 figures a month. What does that tell you? Okay, in videos. Of course, he's probably the greatest painter of our time, but for me, it's boom, 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 boom. I have to be like a machine. Number one, I have to do stuff for this channel. I have to get ready for Rumble Slam. I have to get ready for Frostgrave. I have to get ready for Car Wars. Gaslands. I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult Gaslands. There are things that I'm doing for D&D that we're going to be doing. Ancients I'm doing. Bolt Action we're doing. All these things. And work on the scenery and things like that. Film. This. That. There's a lot that goes into what I want to do going forward. Okay? There is a lot that goes into it. And it's a lot of work. And the minute you can see that it's a lot of work, you know, I think it's easier. Oh, what the heck happened here? Oh, that was weird. Hold on. Oh, there we go. I had the screen just kind of dance out of there for a minute. Okay. That was strange. So, you see where I'm going with this. So it's trying to manage my time. How do I manage my time best? How am I most efficient? It's never easy. Okay? This isn't a walk in the park. Okay? And I just want to make sure that people understand that and not get frustrated. Things will come in time. I've gotten a ton done. I've got a ton more to do. And that's just life. That's just the way it goes. Now, as far as the channel's concerned, am I going to be Cult of the New? Am I going to be doing this? And I find that things are kind of changing around here a little bit. And I want to kind of show you what I have in mind for, that's for what I want to go forward with. Wargaming is a passion of mine. And I'm going to do things that I'm passionate about. Okay? And I really believe in that. And I really feel that... Where's my fan? Okay, there we go. As far as wargaming, I want to look at the things that I'm really interested in. Wargaming. War games. Plain and simple. Okay? So let's draw a line there. Okay? I don't want to take up all the thing. Historical minis. Or miniature games. I'll just put minis. We'll just call this mini games. Shoot, how much time do we want to invest in that? Okay, that's a complete mess there. Nobody even understands what the hell I wrote there. So if you just pop in, you're just gonna go, what is this guy writing? Chinese? Let's just call it mini games. Minis. Painting. RPGs. How much room do we have left? Okay. And just board games that catch my interest. Okay. So, in this slot here, I want to talk I want to do historicals, I want to do dungeon crawls, I want to do war reports and things like that. So just so you have an idea of where we're going with this. So how do you break that out into 100%? Well, as far as regular board games are concerned, things like Castle Panic, Carcassonne, Twilight Imperium, that kind of stuff. Honestly, I want to kind of put that into a 10% thing. 10% of the channel is going to be that and reviews of it. I mean, you'll see a lot of it. RPGs. That is another thing that I like to try to get into the 15% area. Okay? So at least 75% for the rest. War and Pieces is a big part of this channel. This is not a wargaming per se channel, but it's pretty close to it. And I think I have something to say. And I'm going to be talking about a couple of channels that are underrated that I really admire and that help me keep, this number keeps growing a little bit. And I think that's a good thing. This number is kind of unfair. I think because of the way we do reviews and stuff like that, we have to change that. But what I want to change here, the miniatures, is make that 25%. I want to do a little bit more of that. Painting, well, if we have 50% to split up between these three things, where are we going? Okay. I think if we are painting, if this just becomes a painting channel, that doesn't make any sense. So I think, honestly, that's just not what we do. I'd rather, show you what I'm painting, teach you a little bit about what I'm painting, and bring that. So 50, so we're at 80%. And I think board games, realistically, because we look at things, we review things, is at 20%. That's how the channel, I think, really breaks down. It's a mishmash channel. It's a channel that does a lot of different things. Don't lean on the thing so it bounces. And actually, I can move this. Hold on. Where's the thing? Okay, there we go. Let's move this up. You got to make the noise when you do it. So you see where we're going with the channel and our interests and things like that. Okay, war games are going to be 25% of this channel, and we're going to do live plays of it and stuff like that. Now, all this stuff is subject to live plays, RPGs, board games, painting, miniatures, war games. All that is going to come in at some point. So we're going to figure all this kind of stuff in and work this into our time management and how we want to do things going forward. Oops. There we go. So, that's my idea of where the channel's going as far as everything is concerned. We really just want to kind of break things up and really make sure that we cover everything. We're a mishmash channel. We're not dedicated to one thing, nor will we ever be dedicated to one thing. Dutch, how are you? We're not going to talk about that, Scott. Okay, if you want to talk about that stuff, you can go to CNN. So, one of the things that that I'm looking forward to is trying to stay consistent within this blueprint and make sure that we are hitting those marks. I have interests. There are things that are just interesting to me, and when I started thinking about it, I started really kind of looking, and I hope this thing isn't bouncing when I go over to it, is that this is the way I want this channel to come across. This is the way, thanks, this is the way I kind of really want to have this channel develop. I don't watch CNN either, Scott, so believe me. I just don't watch news. I don't care. I just don't care enough. I don't have enough time in the day, if you saw how I broke it down. So this is where I see I'm kind of going. This is where I want to have our focus on. I want to be able to hit all these different things. And there may be some of you that look at this and go, well, this is for me, but the rest of this stuff isn't. Well, that's the way the channel's going. Okay, this is what we are trying to accomplish and end up with at the end of the day and look at. So again, it's really about time management and where am I going? How am I going to get there? And really manage all of it. And in that 100%, all those things, you also think that you got to remember that, we do some work for Board Game Geek. That's going to fit in there, which is separate from that number. But we also do, we do some videos for Miniature Market, which is our sponsor, which has been, that company has been fantastic to us. And if you don't buy from Miniature Market, shame on you, because I know for a fact there's another big sale coming. And then I also have the date of a couple of other big things that are coming in November, of course. Now, you all know that Black Friday is coming. And I have the date for Black Friday. I cannot say it yet because I do not have clearance to say it. I know more things going forward than anybody else. Rob, we love you and what you do for us. Just don't burn yourself out. It's not about burning out. It's about making people understand that I'm trying to do the best I can to fulfill all these things. Okay? I'm pulling away from the media community, and I am focusing on empty shelves in the background. What's happening? Oh, a lot of things. We just bought a new. I just bought a storage facility and moved over like 3,000 or 4,000 games, something like that, somewhere in there. And what I'm trying to do is really build an atmosphere here that I can do some really good positive things and concentrate on the things that are here. It's close. It's a quarter of a mile, so I can go back and forth. It's not a problem to throw a couple things that I want to look at and stuff like that. But I need space until my last daughter leaves, and then I can bring everything back in and rebuild things. I'm also rebuilding things, and that's why I need this storage center. Is that we are going to be rebuilding a lot of this to make this a true all-out studio. We're where we're at, where we want to be, but there is a lot more that is coming, and we'll be doing a lot of different things. Also, we're going to be giving a lot of stuff to charity. You're going to see a lot of stuff on eBay. The auctions, like I said at the beginning of this, the auctions are gone. We've been burnt too many times. We're going to have an announcement in November about some things that are going to change and how we're going to go forward to help people and do things. We're changing a lot of things. The last 5 years has been kind of tough, and we're going to do more by doing less, if that makes sense. We're going to get, sometimes less is more. That's the best way I think we could put it. We got we've got 4 videos going up next week. I'm scaling back. We're going to do a live video on BGG. We're going to do a live video on Wednesday here. So there's going to be no video on Wednesday. Saturday, we have another War and Pieces. I've been very consistent with the War and Pieces. As we covered Historicon and a couple of other things. You're going to see a little bit more War and Pieces stuff, war games and things like that. There's some things I want to cover, and I think pretty much I've hit everything kind of on the head. I'm just getting away from a lot of different things. I'm trying to figure out how to word this so some people don't get upset or this, that, and the other. But usually if you just say the first thing that's in your mind, it's usually the truth. Think about that. Because it's usually what you mean. But I have a Twitter account and I have a Instagram account. I really enjoy my Instagram account because it's a lot of pictures of people's lives. I have a friend, she is in Germany, and I have to hit the translate button. But she's an artist and things like that, and her husband, and we don't know each other, we don't talk to each other. I tag her a lot when I paint things and stuff like that. And I love putting up all the painted pictures that I do. I do the same thing on Twitter, and I follow some people on Twitter, but it always rolls into something that they're following that is just so poisonous in this board gaming community, the media community, that I really don't like Twitter, but I have to keep it in an instance because that's the only way I can contact and stay in contact with some people. So I found that as a media creator, if that's what you want to call me, because I don't see that, I felt best to pull away, and I really have. I like doing the things for Board Game Geek, because I really love Aldi as a friend, and that's why I do it. I am not under contract by them. I do not really work for them. I do what I do for them because I care for Aldi. All right, future Hall of Famer, deserves accolades beyond human belief. That is the extent of my connection with Board Game Geek. Okay, so I really enjoy doing that. I enjoy some of the things. I have to build up that segment somehow, some way, and find a way to be more productive for him, because I want him to win. I really do. I think he is one of the most remarkable human beings. And if you ever got to know Scott Alden on a personal basis the way I have, you would understand a lot of things. Why am I not on the Alaboom as much? Sometimes they talk about a lot of Euro games. I love Euro games. I really do. But sometimes I get bored of it. So I number one, trying to get up in the middle of the night, and then I cut my sleep short for the next day. And it kind of hurts me a little bit. So I haven't been on as much as I'd like to be. Plus, now that they have the new system where there's only 6 people on at once, well, that makes things kind of tough. I've been going backwards looking at older games. That's another thing. Hello. Hi. Yes. I'll be out there in a minute because she wants to go bye-bye. You want to go bye-bye? Do you want to go bye? Yeah, you're going to lose your mind, right? We're going to go in a little bit. We're gonna go to the flea market, right? Yeah. I love this dog. I'll tell you, my wife has been away, and it's just been me, her, and then Bella, and that's all I have. Okay, in my life. There's nobody that lives around here that I can play games with. There's my son's very busy with his things. My granddaughter, I go over and try to pop my head in, give her a kiss or two. But for the most part, this is all that I've had is those two, and we've had a pretty good week, haven't we? I want my wife to come home. I really do. Sue Park says, finally played Cloudspire. What a great 2-player game. Nice call on that one, Rob. You see, that's the other thing. I've always tried to grow this channel. I figure a bigger media presence would help spread the word in some way of just building an audience that is more. But I'm finding that the audience I play to is all that matters. The people I play to is all that matters. Whether it's large or small, it doesn't matter. I come on here and I make the videos and do things to satisfy the people that follow. They will come, they will go, either way. It doesn't matter. And that's the way I've looked back at this history. This is why I do what I do. This is why I split up what I do. This is why when I come home, I have something to say, something to share with people that follow the same hobby I do. Okay, that have the same passion for the hobby that I do. I find I find this is my way to communicate with others because I don't have people around. I don't have a board game community. I don't care to have a board game community around here. I'm not worried about it. I play a lot of things by myself. I share a lot of things with you. We do things together, and that fulfills my expectation of this hobby. I watch certain other channels that I really admire. There are a couple out there. We'll talk about that in a video, I think, at some point. And most of all, I just am enjoying this last year and a half. There's been a difference in the channel because I am enjoying it. I'm not trying to be all these things because I realize that I just can't, and it's not within me. I'm not somebody to overwhelm people. I'm not the person to go asking people for things or begging for things, or that's maybe the wrong way to put it, begging for things. I think you know what I'm saying. I just don't like to bother designers. I don't like to bother companies. I don't like to bother things. One other thing I wanted to talk about, and I forgot about, I do a lot of free work for Kickstarters at times, and I want them to win and stuff like that. And I really feel that that the things that I do for those channels, those people that are trying to do their Kickstarter things, I feel I'm doing something good. Number one, I can't expose you to a ton of people. Like Oathsworn was fantastic, and it was very nice that there were people that were fans of the channel, and they wanted to be a part of the channel and to help us as much as we could possibly help them. That's why they came down. They did what they did. And there's, the King of Average, who is a fantastic talent. And, I'm just so happy that when I finally hang this up, that, a young kid like that, who's going to have the momentum and probably surpass me by light years, will have a good, strong following. And when I go, I know that what I do is left in good hands in a way. He's a big Kickstarter guy and is able to do a lot of those things. Me, I just don't. I don't back him. So, and I know people charge people and stuff like that for reviews and things like that. I just don't have it in me to do that kind of thing. What the heck is this? I'm getting distracted. Found a tool that I needed. Yeah. So I'm never going to do that, but I think going forward, because I put so much pressure on myself to do some of these things, that it's really hurt this number up top here. Okay. And how I want to break things down in what I'm doing. It's really hurt it in a way. And, I want to kind of change things in the fact that I'm going to be a little bit more selective in helping people with Kickstarter stuff. It's kind of funny. I've all of a sudden I've gotten more thumbs up because I've turned down a few people, and then you notice that he's not helping us, so screw him. Okay, whatever. I don't care. I really don't. I'm going to do things my way. I'm going to do things my way, and if you want to come along for the ride, you're going to get an honest opinion. You're not going to get the store-bought, generic, "Hi, my name is Joe Schmo, and I'm going to show you Last Crusade. Last Crusade is one of the best games out there. I'm very excited about this. Let's go down to the table and show you all about this." And in the little corner here, right over here, it'll say, this is a paid, so forth and so on. Let's go down. And they have all this beautiful camera work and all this art and stuff like that, where they're over the top fake. That's not what you get here. That's not what you're going to get here. What you're going to get here is just me talking to you. That's it. just like you were across the table here. That's why it's set up that way. That's why when we do things, we try to make it feel like you're here. I'm gonna do it my way. You betcha, neutral. You know, I just do it like you're here, and that's the way it's going to go. That's the way. For a while there, I'll admit, year two, I was most unhappiest, and part of year three, I was so unhappy because I was trying to be something I'm not, and there were times I was very frustrated. I would have these vlogs that were days, like this one. I would W. What does W mean? Oh, she retracted the meta message. I love Godzilla Lover, one of my favorites. And I do have favorites on here, and there's no doubt about it. I make no bones about it. But I lost my track because all I saw was a W. But I just year two and year three, part of year three, I was so unhappy because I was just being something I wasn't, and I would go into these rants, and I wouldn't even know what I was ranting about. I just couldn't look within myself and find out that I just wasn't doing things the way I wanted to do it. And then when I just went back to just being myself and doing things a certain way, people enjoyed it more. I enjoyed it more, and it's been fun. So when we had that day breakout on how things work for an entire day, it kind of then all of a sudden you see that window that I have where I work. When I come home from work, it's right out here. It's enjoyable because I have something to say. The minute I stop having something to say is the time I'm going to stop doing this. Okay, when I don't have something to say, you're not going to see as many videos. You're not going to see things, and that's what we are trying to do. Just be ourselves. Hey, people saw me at Gen Con. I was exhausted. Okay, I didn't hide that. I couldn't hide it. So what did I talk to him about? Probably the last thing you wanted to talk about, how exhausted I was. And I was burnt out. It was a long emotional month. The new grandchild, praying that she's okay. Going to see my other grandchildren. Trying to get all the work done for the channel and things like that. All the different things that were happening. Making sure the kids were able to move into the new house. Making sure my daughter was okay. Who was a paramedic and dealing with all kinds of things. My wife, all the things that she needed. The pups. You fell asleep, didn't you big galoot? You baby baboon. What you do and who you are is why you're my favorite. Love you for you, Rob. And there's anywhere from 20 to 25 people watching this at a time, because this is last minute thing. If one of you feel that way, just one of you, I've done my job. Okay, the rest of you can hate. The rest of the people can hate it. But if I was able to reach one person and it means something to them, that's all I care about. I'm not here to appeal to the masses. I just don't think I have it in me. I'm an old white guy, plain and simple. That seems to be a thing that people get very upset about. I'm not going to get into the logistics of it, but I'm just an old fart that just doesn't that will never mass appeal to the younger crowd. Okay, they want more. They want better things. One of the biggest complaints is that, and I hear it all the time, and I see it all the time, is that there are just this generic thing of guys that do this. And my belief is, if you want to change that thing, you have to go out and not complain about it, but go out and change it. It shouldn't matter who you are in the world here, watching this, and or who is bringing these channels to you. Okay, if you want to make change, you can reach all people. I believe that this is for everyone. Everyone should have a shot at this. It shouldn't be just one type of people or people, but it should be all people. Okay? And no one should be excluded, or nobody should be singled out because there's more of this or less of that. The way you fix things is you bring it to more people. You touch more lives. Okay? It's for everyone. Okay? And if we need more different types of creators, then they need to pick up and just do it. And it's simple as that. I'm all for it. I believe in it, okay? That it's for everyone. Anyone that wants it. But instead of complaining about, go out and do something about it. Hold something in a library. And bring all kinds of people. Go to some of these schools and bring some of these board games or models or paints and things like that. And reach people. Touch people. Okay? Don't bring people in just because it's going to fit something. Reach out. You may go someplace, a library, a school, or something like that, and take the time to do it, and maybe have 20 people show up. And out of those 20 people, you only reach maybe 1 or 2 people. Okay? But are those people that you reach the next Eric Lang's, Mark Walker's, Rob Davio's? Is that the next person? Okay? You're going to find that niche. Reach it, touch it. But you have to go out and do it. You can't sit there and complain about it. You can't sit there and whine about this and that. You have to do something. So, I'm just a very average channel. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy. I'm happy where I am. I'm happy what I do. I'm happy how I do it. Brew Geek says, I do miss your crazy competitive games with your kids. Maybe you can do some of that during the holidays. They have different lives. They have different lives now. They do different things. The kids are very busy. They have their own lives. They all grew up. They moved on. It's just not, they don't have time for it anymore. I would love to do that. It's just not something that's feasible. There are grandchildren now. There are, people with jobs and all these other things. And that's just the way it is. Change happens. It really does. And it's sometimes, it's hard to deal with because I go back and I look at all the older videos, and I remember, all the stupid stuff we would do, the food that the Queen would make, and everybody would ask what she's making and why, or she'll make something special just for our game nights on Saturdays, and we would play gaming marathons where it was just, okay, we're going to play 4 games, and it would be 5 hours, or we try, it would be like a 3 or 4 hour stream with poor cameras. Life changes, and you have to adjust with it, and I've been able to do that. And I'm very... I'm at a point where, you look at all this and you go, oh man, and then you look in the mirror and you realize, another birthday is going by in September, and you go, wow, they just keep flying by, and things are changing, and look how much grayer I am compared to when I first started doing this, and how old I'm becoming, and how much change has happened, and how you have to adjust and change with all the change. And it's a very humbling thing. It's a very difficult thing. But I've been able to do that. I've been able to adjust the channel and things, and change things, and do different things. And it kind of starts to reflect your collection, because where you were collecting more 3 to 4 player games, you now start changing your ideal to things more that fit what the channel is now. I will continue to change. Boy, I just saw a game on the up there. Hold on, I'm gonna try to. I didn't even realize I had those up there. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can show you guys this. No, not that. Okay, not that one. Okay, there we go. All right, we're gonna take this camera, and we're gonna do this. Whoa. Oh, see, now I don't know if I can do it. See that game right above Zombicide? There's Terror below, and in between, there's a game called Circle of Water. I was supposed to take a look at that. I forgot to do that. Crying out loud. All right. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of stuff here. There's the new air conditioner that we put in, just in case you guys were wondering. Okay, there we go. Let's put that down. Is it kind of empty nest, Brew Geek? It's not empty nest. It's just people have lives. They've got, they can't sit there and play games all the time. I never used to care about solo option, but the last 2 years, it's been a must for me to pay attention. I could play 2-player games by myself. I'm okay with that. So I don't hold myself back to that. But what I do is I do take and try to lean more towards the single-player games, because I'm able to do certain things. That's why, when I play an experience like this, the D100 series, I love Dungeons and Dragons, and being able to do that is a fantastic thing. That's why, also things like this, when it comes to war games, you start talking about, We Stand Alone and the Battles of Easy Company. Well, yeah, count me in. This is cool. All right. But Lock and Load Tactical has a solo option that you're going to be seeing, so I have those options to play against an AI, which is a lot of fun. But I also am able to shut my brain off and kind of fight myself. And I've been enjoying that too, because I've actually tested myself in a way. I go, well, why did I allow myself to get pinned like that? And look, and when you're fighting yourself, it's kind of weird, even though that certain things are coming. In some games where there's cards involved that can change events, I like the randomness of just putting them face down and not knowing what they are, turning them over, and then, oh shoot, I got to deal with this on this side of the brain. And then when their card comes over, I have to deal with this on that side of the brain. Rumble Slam is going to be a perfect example of that, because they have these event cards, and I figured how to work this out into a solo option that is superb. So, there's a lot of thought that goes into different things and how I can do different things. So do I stay away from a lot of games that are very popular, that are 2-player or 3-player games? Yes, I do. And I go, well, something, it's not going to be good for me to play this type of game. Like there are certain Euro games I just can't play because, like a work replacement game, there's no way I can turn my brain off that much to compensate for that. So it does make it tough. Am I looking into options into inviting some of you guys to play? Well, now that they have that new streaming thing that is real time, I'm going to be investigating into that as well as some other things. So, just a lot of different things that I'm trying to overcome a lot of things because I really do love playing games live. I think it's part of the backbone that is this channel. So there you go. Wow, I went in an hour. How do I go an hour? How do I talk for an hour? See, this is why, you're always going to have 25, 26 videos from me, a week, is because I don't shut up. I always have something to say. I barely take a breath. And, that's just the way I am. That's the way I'm built. I love card games. There's Power Rangers I got to take a look at. The Captain is Dead is something I'm very interested in. Brook City is something I got to finish painting. There's so many different variances. Sorcerer, which is a 2-player game that I got that it was probably a mistake because I don't know how I'm going to do it solo, but I got it because I liked it. Star Trek Conflict, the American Civil War, Error, which I want to paint. Foodies is a great game. I got it just because it was so doggone good when Pete showed it to me. Is it something I can show off and do some things with? Well, maybe. Space Cadets Away missions. I want to get back to that. That is something that an old 50s sci-fi type of things. I look at some of the other war games I have here and stuff and try to figure an option on how I can solo a lot of things. There are great solo channels out there, and I'll admit it. I can't hold a candle to them. Production, how they do things, where they're able to get things because, who they know, who they don't know. I can't keep up with those type of channels. I can only just do the things that I'm good at and the things I feel I can be good at. Plain and simple. All right. This was not a whole thing to complain about anything. Okay. Your kids are not done with board gaming. They are prepping the next generation. Get familiar with hobby game. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it. My grandson, we had so much fun playing that game. Ice Cool and things like that. I can't wait to hopefully go up and see him or fly him down and, just bring him out here. He's a huge Godzilla fan now, and he's just a remarkable, remarkable boy, along with my beautiful granddaughter. Right, Grandpa? Yeah, right. One of the greatest gifts in my life were those 3 grandkids. Very, very humbling. I grew up. It was not easy. I could have done things a lot better in life, and I see them, and every mistake that you ever made in your life, you could correct by just giving them everything that you are and loving them as hard as you can. And I think for me, those grandkids are something that hopefully, I don't know how long I have, your mortality starts to kick in, near 60, just an old man. Okay. Nobody wants to watch an old man, but I'm going to keep on doing this as long as I can. Like I said, I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it again. Each day, nothing's guaranteed. My hands, if I'm finding this wrist is really getting bad. And unfortunately, it's not my painting wrist, but last night I was in a lot of pain with my wrist. Was it because of lifting? Like an idiot, I still went to the gym this morning. But I just, is it arthritis? I don't know. But my hands are going, my eyesight's going. Just all in all, everything starts to fall apart. Okay? And I mean, look at me. I don't look really good for my age. That's for doggone sure. It's all falling apart. But I try to keep doing the best I can and just keep going forward. I'm going to go as long as I can. And And like I said, I don't know how long I have, my mortality kicks in, but in that time frame that I have, I try to take advantage of every single day and love my children and love you guys and just love my family as much as I humanly can and really make the most out of this time. Basically, I'm trying to buy my way into heaven. Plain and simple. All right. I think I've covered everything. I hope this clears up a lot of things for a lot of people. Just so many good things that we can do. I have to get by some of this stuff the first part of this week. Maybe I can show you some of the things that I had. We have an Arcadia quest and a Zombicide Black Plague that I had to paint for a TV show. And that's all I can tell you right now. So I had to get that done quick. We like what you have to say. That is why we are here. Thank you, Gary. It means the world to me. Again, it's just wonderful coming into your homes, your computers, at your work, and just being able to do a few things. You're going to see some really neat videos this week. I did 2 more countdown top 10s. One's a top 12, I think, because I just couldn't figure out a way. I forgot what they were. One was top 10 print and play games, and then the top 10 top 10 miniature games that are not from GW. So that was kind of interesting to do because I really looked at some out there miniature games that I really enjoyed and that you're going to be seeing here. So really got some really interesting things, and I've got some more things I've got to work on, but I'm not going to work on it till Thursday. Yeah, I think that's the way it'll go. Probably won't do. I've just got to jot down some ideas and some things. I got a few more lists. I've got a couple of games I want to break down. We're going to be taking a look at some older stuff, some newer stuff, and everything in between. All right. I think I've said it all. I don't think there's much more I can say. Stay away from all the phony channels out there, okay? Go to the people that are truthful. You could tell, all right? It's not about production. It's not about a lot of things. You know who's trying to sell you, snake oil, okay? Support those people. Take care of those people. If I got to point you in the direction of those people, I will, because there's plenty of them that do not get what they really deserve. Call up one of your buds and sky a board game off camera. Nothing like sharing some laughs with a buddy. You got to have friends first, Sue. My best friend is me. And that is the way I am. I am not a very trusting person. And I think that's because I've been burned so much. Okay. This last Gen Con was just a bunch of passive aggressive disrespect from a lot of people in the business. And I'm not going to go name those people. Let them be what they are. Eventually people will figure them out. Them and their little clans and their little cliques and things like that. It's fine. It's not for me to get involved with. I walk alone. Okay? And anybody wants to come and try to knock me off my perch, give it the best you can, because the old man still got a couple more left in him. Just a couple more left in him. Okay? And the best way I could put it, I'm saving them. And those of you out there that want to come play that game, listen. You got to wonder, does he have that one left in him? Tina Lee. Well, look at that. Miss Tina, how are you? First of all, thank you for the $20 donation. I could really use it. Thank you. And happy Sunday to you, my dear. I have not heard from you in over a month. And you are one person that I miss more than you can ever imagine. Your buddies are off camera. Yes, my pup and my dog. My wife is my best friend in some ways, and I have a very I love Tina very much. She's one person that has come down here, one of the few people that have been here, and I just really, really, I've always enjoyed her enthusiasm. When she gets hangry, I always got a kick out of that because we immediately have to go get something to eat. And just who she is. And I don't, why is a young girl going to hang out with an old fart like me? Well, yeah, she's taken some time to come down here and spend some time, and it's always meant a lot to me. And that has always been very important to me. It's one of the things that kept me in this hobby a lot. And she's been on this channel quite a bit. She kind of broke up the old guy syndrome here. We hit a deer and it totaled our car. Oh no. Wanted to start supporting the channel more, but right now I can only support by viewing, liking, and spreading the word. That's all I've ever asked. Just watch. Well, don't worry about spreading the word, but just watch and enjoy. That's all you gotta do. Just watch and enjoy it. Just have fun. Really, it means a lot. I come to hang out with the queen and the puppers. That's the truth. Oh, okay. Forget everything I said about Tina. Yeah, Gabby's sleeping over here. I have a pillow for her over on this side, and Tina, I really hope that one day you can come back down and see how I've changed everything down here, where we can actually just sit out here and we can close that door and just play everything that's under the sun. Before we couldn't do that. We used to have to bring it into the table there, and the TV in the background and all the other stuff. No, everything's changed here, and everything is. We have a bigger table. We have a bigger way of doing things. I think you would really like it, and it would catch you off guard. Yeah, so there you go. I think I've said it all. And we just keep on hoping that we keep going. I'm going to take the puppers to the flea market just so they get some exercise, and we're going to go get some homemade peanut butter. I like homemade peanut butter. They put honey in it and stuff, and I really like that. I have not been sick, physically sick in over 9 years, and I'm just starting to feel a little off, and I don't know what it is. I got to figure out what it is. Nice improvement, Rob. Must have cost a fortune. You have done well, young man. What a wise ass. Love her, though. Always will. She's always been one of my favorite. I would not be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for her channel. And her channel was just something special. That's all we can keep doing is keep going forward. That's something I keep on telling you. Keep going forward. Do not step back. Most important thing is enjoy every day, love each other, care for each other, everybody, not just certain people, even those people that don't care for you. I forgive a lot of people that have done a lot of awful things to me, and I probably should grab them by the scuff of their neck and throw a beating on them, but something, it takes more to forgive and care and say, something, nobody's perfect. Nobody. And just be passionate, be caring, be forgiving, and be all the best things that we can be. And that is the gift that we can give to the world. Not complaining about the world and how there's not enough of this, that, and the other, but actually being the solution by being kind to each other, being tolerant of those that hate, being forgiving of those that hate, and educate, not condemn, but care. And if we can do those things, we have lived a full day. There we go. Hope you find more time to visit your grandson. I do too. Twice a year isn't enough. So, with that said, and thank you, Tina, very much. I appreciate it very, very much. I love you all. You all are fantastic. Enjoy today. Enjoy your Sunday. I'm going to make today count as best I can with my beautiful pups. And most of all, just remember tomorrow's not guaranteed. Be kind to somebody, because it's not only going to make them feel good, it's going to make you feel good. Gramtastic, another fantastic person. Thank you, Rob. Need to hear this from someone. Yeah, you have to be forgiving, Graham. And I think you know what I'm talking about. You just have to forgive. It's going to be a better life for you once you do. And you find it in your heart to forgive, breathe, and go forward. Have a great Sunday, everyone, says Miss Tina. Daniel says thank you. You are all fantastic. Enjoy your Sunday. We'll be back and we'll be streaming more. Right now, I'm just in catch-up mode, and I really need to get some things done. You are all the best. I wish you all the best. And I will see you soon. We spent an hour and a half on this. Who the heck is going to watch this? I'll never know. Love you all. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you soon. Now I'm supposed to hit pause for a second and wait until it gets to where I said goodbye, but I'm trying to say goodbye again. Do I wait even longer for that? I can't figure out this YouTube stuff or this delay stuff. What can I tell you? 1, 2